happening? This is Chris Young with 80/20 CRM. We're going to cover schemas and data types. I know, another really exciting topic. Okay, let's jump into it. So you're seeing my screen here. This is the schema builder in Salesforce. And I'm just showing you a few objects that we've got together here. We've got leads, campaigns, comparables, property transactions, opportunities, users. But what you're seeing here, and this looks like a big jumbled mess of spaghetti, you're seeing all of these different database tables and their connections to other tables, right? You're seeing the fields that these link on and how they map, the foreign keys that exist there. So you can kind of pull these apart and start to see what a schema looks like. So we could pull the lead out, for example, maybe pull that apart, and then we can see, well, what all does a lead attach to? You can see it's attached, well, it could have a comparable on it. Have a property transaction, right? We've got that guy. We could have a property typically, right? So we're gonna have the property transaction and a property. We could have a campaign, right? So we've probably got multiple campaigns through the campaign member junction object there. And then, whoops, we've got opportunities. So a lead becomes an opportunity, but look, you'll notice there's no direct link between a lead and opportunity. Kind of strange, right? So when a lead gets converted, it creates an opportunity, but it does not actually maintain a direct link. We keep the ID on the op, but isn't that interesting? So no direct lookup between a lead and an opportunity. And then we've got, let's see, anything else? Oh, of course, we've got our user. So let me scroll out here. We've got a user attached to the lead. You can see a user is kind of attached to everything, right? Because they're going to be the owner. They're going to have lots of user records throughout the system. Somehow I selected it. There we go. And that's as small as I can go. So then after an opportunity could also have transaction and property. So you'll see that's kind of attached everywhere. So give you a little bit of an idea, then you've got offers. Offers are attached to entities, opportunities, properties, property transactions, users, contacts, right? So you have all of those different, that offer brings together all of those other data pieces. A calculator here, you'll see is only in a few places. So tied to users, an opportunity, property transaction, kind of see some calculators there. So just to give you a general idea of what a schema is, and by definition, it is a blueprint of your data, your database, right? The tables, how they connect to each other, their relationship throughout. It also includes your data type. So it's really hard to see. Let me zoom into a lead, for example, right? And I can see, or even a property transaction, I can see these fields, and I can also see the data type of those fields, a percent, a text, a lookup to a user, a formula, a currency formula, etc. So we can look at our elements and we can see the different data types that exist here. Really important to know what the data types are. No, this is nothing new for anybody here. These data types, identify what they can accept. They'll have validations on them. Checkbox is just true, false. And so for import purposes, it's really important to know the data types, your schema, how all of your tables interact with each other. So like, hey, I've got to have this ID, I have to have a user ID before I can make that user an owner of a lead, for example. So on import, it's really important to know that schema, but also important to know the data types. Like what kind of format do I need this data to be in? So is it a currency field? Because that's important. That actually is just a decimal number. So if you make it that way, it doesn't need any symbols or commas or anything, just a number, and it will auto format for you. A date, just year, month, day. The ISO standard, date, time. An email address is going to validate as an email. A number field just needs to be a number, and then also you'll notice on those number fields they're going to have your number of digits, so your scale and how many to the left of the decimal, how many to the right. So that's an important thing. So if in this case, the largest scale is 4. If you put in a number and greater than 10,000 or 10,000 above, it's going to fail. It won't actually import because it's too big for that field. So it's important to know. Phone fields, 40 text characters. These ones don't have as much validation on them as emails do, but there's some, and they're limited in size. Pick lists, multi-select pick lists. So those need to be correct by their API names, text fields, long text areas, rich text, etc. So that's some of the data types and schemas that you would see. And when you're creating new objects, it's just important to know, and importing, it's important to know what those are. So just wanted to give you a little tidbit, and that's also a little rundown on the very basics of the 80-20 schema. Is we start with leads, and they have properties and transactions attached. A transaction's a junction object between the lead and the property, so that you can have multiple properties on that lead, and over time it allows multiple transactions over time. It's really nice. And then you can see we've got comparables attached. I didn't pull it in here, but we could. Let's see, we've also got communications and skip trace records. You can see that. So if we pull in communications, you can see that's their phone numbers and emails for a customer or client. And we tie those all over so that you have access to them. So lots of, and this is when you look at a related list of objects, what you're seeing is if I go to the lead and then I go to a related list view, I'm going to see all these different tables that I have data in that I can access and that are tied through this specific field. So a little bit about schemas and data types. Hope that was helpful. This is Chris Young with 80-20 CRM. Talk to you soon.